Hi, welcome back to Plus This. I'm Kathy Teach.
And I am Eva Tingley. Did you guys miss us from last week?
I mean, we missed you. And I know I'm giving like a full-on Rizzo and Grease vibe.
No, we both have boofs today.
We're feeling our 50s life.
We are. We are both boofy, and we don't even know why. We didn't talk about it.
We didn't.
We just both boofed it up.
But let's talk about how you're giving a lash.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh. Guys, I feel the breeze.
I did have a butterfly experience today, guys. It was the most amazing thing that ever happened in my life. Peter and I went on our morning walk. We're walking, and all of a sudden, I'm like, look, there's a bunch of butterflies right there, Peter. And then there was like more butterflies and more butterflies and more. And they were like everywhere. Everywhere. It was unbelievable. And we were like, oh my gosh, look at, they're everywhere. Look at that one. Look at that one. Oh my God. I mean, they were everywhere. There was like big orange
monarchs.
ones. Yeah.
I know. I just posted a video of this and like was crying about it. I'm on Twitter.
I know.
On my personal.
Which is why I didn't see it. Because I didn't look at, I don't ever look at Twitter.
She doesn't look at Twitter, guys.
I don't look at Twitter.
I was virtually doing it and then she had the experience.
I know.
Thanks God. It's
Sorry.
Whatever.
I was totally amazed by it. I was like, what is this doing in the middle of my neighborhood?
That's actually really cool.
Yeah,
I was imagining you were in like a
hike.
Yes.
No, we were like in the neighborhood, like this is like someone's front yard that this is happening in.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, good on them for raising monarch butterflies.
Billions of them.
Billions
of them for the world.
Can you imagine though, if that was your everyday, you might be like, I don't know.
I mean, you might, because first of all, as a person who likes to garden, I would be all like, oh, they're eating all my plants. Freaking stupid butterflies and caterpillars.
As a person who kills plants, I would probably be like, see, they killed the plant.
You're like, no, you'd be like, it wouldn't be them. It'd be like, oh, I killed my plant again. You wouldn't even know it was the caterpillar.
I really didn't know they would kill them until you just told me.
Yeah, have you ever read The Hungry Caterpillar?
I literally thought you were going to say The Hungry Hippo, and I was like, no, Eva.
No, The Hungry Caterpillar. Yes, they do actually eat a lot.
No, I did not.
To get fat, to go into their cocoon.
That's really adorable. Let's cocoon it out.
Yes. I'm about to go into my cocoon. That's how fat I am at this moment. I'm going to go into a cocoon and come out a butterfly, guys.
That's right. We have an amazing guest.
We do have an amazing guest.
And we're just so lucky that she's in town.
Yes, that we're like getting her perfectly in the time that she's
slipping
here.
It in.
Soup.
Yeah.
She's like in and out.
Yeah, and we got it.
And we got her. We like caught her.
We did.
We put a net on her.
If you guys are watching Orange is the New Black,
yeah,
she is on it.
You might
Shawna
recognize
Hamic is here.
Which you wanted to go real Scottish.
Shawna Hamic. But that's not. That's not it. She says like hammock, like an enjoyable hammock.
She's an enjoyable hammock.
I will never forget how that's pronounced. For once.
I
will not forget.
For once in her life.
That's right.
Guys,
I won't forget the
she won't forget.
I won't. You lucky Luckertons who have tickets are already going to go.
Yeah.
But tomorrow night, I have to pull out all the stops to be in Titanic.
Guys.
The musical parody.
Wait, first of all, you have to tell everybody what it is.
It is.
If we haven't already told you a million times, just saying.
We might have.
Who knows?
It is the story of the Titanic movie as told through the eyes of Celine Dion.
Brilliant. So it's like all Celine Dion music?
It is. And she is there in her weird French Canadian way, like telling her Cirque du Soleil-esque version of Titanic, the movie. There's a character that is sort of a compilation of like the guy who made the boat and the captain of the boat called Victor Garber. Like he's just called Victor Garber. I play the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Amazing.
And I might go get Rose off the door in a rowboat singing a song. I'm just going to say it.
Like you might?
I might do that. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. It's very funny. But the singing is also like crazy, like amazing. Like the best singers and arrangements ever.
And you guys are going to like go to BroadWAY and like win a Tony. Since this is like the room in which things happen.
Yeah, maybe. Do I want to go? I don't know. We have to see what that journey is.
Don't eliminate that from your process.
I'm not
Kathy.
eliminating it. I'm just saying, like, I'm taking things one step at a time. As you will hear Shawna's experiences too, sometimes you just got to roll.
I'm just saying, this is the room in which we make things happen. And I'm just saying, Kathy Deitch could win a Tony.
Thank you. We are going back for a run in New York, November 30th through December 4th.
Wow.
At the Green Room 42, which is where I was before, which is why I was away, yada yada. So we went. It was sold out last time. I'm sure it's going to sell out this time. Just get your tickets.
Get your tickets ahead of time.
Is our
peeps.
point.
Get your tickets
ahead
of time. We have to talk about something that happened a while ago, but we finally are just getting around to it.
Yeah.
That sweatshirt debacle on Revolve.
It was Revolve and LPA like partnership, and I get like.
But what is LPA like? Why? What is happening there?
I don't know. They're trying to be really progressive, I think, and they were trying to be really edgy and like have people's experience be, this is the thing that people say to me, and I need you to see it and deal with it and be confronted by horrible things that people say. And we have a
picture of it. I don't know if you guys can see it yet. I don't know if they've put it up yet. Okay, so they have put it up. So you can see that it says, being fat is not beautiful. It's an excuse. And the model is a very thin, gorgeous, beautiful model. Nothing wrong with her personally.
But a size 0.
But like a definite size 0.
And they don't make the sweatshirt. Or didn't when they were offering it. I think they snatched it down because of the blowback.
Oh, they did. They for sure took it down. Yeah.
But it only went up to like a size 10. I think it wasn't even like a 12.
Right. So it wasn't even like an opportunity for fat bitches to be like, go F yourself.
Which felt like that's what the campaign was sort of about.
Right. And had they done that, girls would have been like,
yes. Yeah. If they had only made it in a plus size, like if you had, because really that's the only person
that can wear it.
That should be wearing that shirt.
Yeah.
So
because other than that, if you don't know like the meaning behind it, that it's like meant to be for what trolls have said to people online or whatever, it just comes across as really mean.
Yeah.
And then you're wearing this mean statement on your shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's awful. And an excuse for what? Like, it's just
like at first I was like, oh my gosh, how could that model even wear it? Like, how could you even put it on?
How could she take that job? There's a lot of things that are like that lately. I'm having a lot of like existential issues myself with like, what is the thing that's going to stop me from taking a job? And I know we've talked about it in our acting careers. Like, there's just like somebody's asking you to do something and you're like, I'm not really comfortable with that. And I feel like it's might be hard because it's not her fight to fight. Like, not being a fat person, she doesn't understand. And
she probably was like, oh, this is amazing. I'm like for the cause.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe she could. Maybe she did. Maybe they put the print on after she just wore the blank sweatshirt. And they put that shit on it after.
True.
Like that's really. I would love to talk to that model. That's actually a great segment.
Yeah.
That's a great segment.
Call us, model.
Call us, rando. Call us, Revolve model.
It's like a stock footage photo of just a model in a gray sweatshirt, and they're all bloop, just drop that right on her. Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Oh my god. Well, it was very funny because our good friend Megan Kimberling said on Twitter she would punch someone in the face if she saw them wearing that sweatshirt. And then there are other people who are like, I would rock that crop top. Like they were thinking about buying one to like slice it up and make it cute for them. You know, I think that it's it feels like we have to be more revolutionary in this time anyway. So that's why the instinct was correct, except for that's what happens when you don't have fat bitches on your team, right?
Right, that you don't realize like, oh, like we have the right intention but the wrong methodology of carrying it out.
Yeah. It just was so tone deaf.
Really?
They did that. I just really was shocked that, again, and we've talked about this before, like a whole bunch of people approving that process. Like there's a whole group of people, men and women, who said, yes, this is a good idea before it gets to that place. I just think that
people are lazy and they're just like, oh yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean? They're lazy. I think people are lazy.
Maybe.
I think that's what it comes down to. Is people are freaking lazy. They just want to get stuff done. I'm not even going to look. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that campaign was particularly risky. I feel like a lot of people had to think that was a good idea, which is why it's important to have not only fat people on the inside, but like fat people represented, to be like, no way, Jose.
Yeah.
Like, you have to take
like
this
has to be on a fat girl.
Yeah.
This has to be on, not even like size 10 fat. It's got to be on like a fat.
Yeah.
It's got to be on a fats.
Yeah. Yeah, like real.
Yeah.
Like no guessing, no guesswork fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like, is she fat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe if she like
Not
slouched.
honestly, not curve model fat.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like not a curve model, like a full figured model.
Yes.
That's who needed it. That's who it needed to be on. And they needed to make it in that size.
Yes. Oh, I'm telling you, only in that size.
Yeah.
That's the only way that shirt ever should have been worn.
Yeah, is
to get the point.
To be successful and to be for the point to have been made. Yeah.
Why don't we just run things?
We need to run the world, people. We need to run the world.
Can we just run things? I know it's sort of cutting off kind of early, but do you want to do that? Because we have a lot to talk about with Shawna.
And she's pretty great. And
I know.
Kind of want to talk to her about all the things.
I know. Okay,
I'm done talking to you. We're going to break.
Okay, we're going back. So we'll be back with Plus This.
Did you know that 67% of American women are size 14 and above?
You mean they look like this?
Yeah, girl.
So then where are we in television and film?
And where are we in fashion magazines and clothing stores?
Yeah.
So we want to help out entertainment and fashion and media. Catch the F up. Watch us on Plus This.
Live.
Every Thursday
at 7 p.m.
on Cine TV.
We're back.
We're back. And I've switched seats because we're going to bring in our guest.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm singing.
I know. It's so funny because Eva, I think it's in the air, first of all, because of who our guest is.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. There's been a lot of singing, pre-show singing.
Really, I will tell you that I should probably be a little bit more like intimidated by having two Broadway stars around me, but I'm just kind of like not giving an F. I'm like, whatever. I have a crusty voice, whatever.
Your voice is not crusty. It is so good. I've told you this a million bazillion times.
Okay, but I want to tell you that I have not told you this today. Today, I ate a pita chip and it got stuck in my throat like at a triangle, like like scraping all the way down. So my throat feels really raw and like it really hurts. So that's why I feel like whenever every time I'm talking, I'm like, oh,
you're giving like a little Alana Moore.
Yeah, I'm like,
anymore.
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like a little vocal.
You like my little my triangle chip screech?
I like a low gravel. Yes. I don't like a high vocal fry, and I know that Shawna is going to want to talk about this with me.
Oh, okay. So let's bring her on. Let's bring her on.
Please welcome to the show, Broadway star and on the new season of Orange Is the New Black, Shawna Hamic, everyone.
Welcome. Thank you for coming on our show.
Oh, my pleasure. So happy to be here.
You've been so busy that we're so lucky that you swooped in to spend some time with us.
I love
that butterfly net.
Right?
Yeah, I got
her. For sure. Now, you're a Cali girl.
I grew up here, yeah. I grew up in Southern California.
Which is just...
Where?
A little bit like 45 minutes east of here, so like Claremont, Laverne, Montclair kind of area. Closer to the Inland Empire than that, but yeah.
Yeah, so she's at home.
I'm a SoCal girl, too.
I know.
Yeah. SoCal.
I never knew that. Now, do you feel like it really shaped you as a kid?
Oh, you mean being a big girl in SoCal?
Yeah.
Or just like anything? Well, I was always fascinated with TV and film. And when I was growing up here, it wasn't okay to be a big girl on TV. And it was okay, more so, to be a big girl in musical theater. And so even though I've had the dream of being on TV and in film for forever, I focused more on musical theater because it one seemed more possible, not that the other wasn't eventually, but that it was more accepting and open to like a variety of people.
Do you think that that's because in theater we are allowed to suspend disbelief?
I think so.
Whereas in TV and film, it's like, no, it has to be exactly, like you can only be a nurse on television if you've been a nurse in real life. Like that's a lot of casting these days.
It feels very much they only trust the picture of something, even in TV, where usually story is a little bit more present. I feel like they really depend on visually creating a picture, and because the same images are only in people's minds, like only certain size people can be certain things. Like even though we see plus size lawyers all over TV.
Oh, yeah.
There's none
Everywhere. There's plus size.
scripted.
There's plus size women doing every job everywhere all the time.
Because we're the majority. So that's true. So I think that
Okay,
that's
maybe there's not a plus size gymnast. Professional gymnast.
we're gonna find one now.
I was like, now I want my phone to Google.
I mean, like, maybe not a current
not.
Olympic competing gymnast. I'm just going to say, probably not.
Prove us wrong, guys. Prove us wrong.
Me wrong.
Send it
Definitely.
in.
Please send me a
send
Weightlifters, yes.
Yeah,
for
weightlifting.
sure.
Oh, for sure.
We
And there's a
stalk
lot
them.
of athletes who,
great.
there are a lot of plus size athletes.
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, there's a lot of plus size women in this country in particular, and we are doing all of the jobs. So the fact that we are not seen on camera doing all of the jobs, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, a perpetuation of what society considers beautiful because they want to sell you certain things.
Of course.
And it's compounded by, let's sell you only beautiful is skinny or blonde or whatever. And so that was created by the
Yeah,
entertainment
for
industry
sure.
to sell things.
For the ad agencies.
Yeah.
The ad
Yeah,
agencies
exactly.
created it.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
TV. That was the first thing that happened.
Yeah.
Was
So
people
I
posing
want
with products.
to ask you a question that I pretty much ask every single guest. Do you identify as fat?
Yeah, I call myself fat or plus size or a big girl. I don't think there's a reason to hide it, or why would I? Or
Well, because a lot of people feel like the F
The F
word
word.
is so, like, you don't call yourself that. You don't use that word.
It's
You
cagey
don't.
for people.
oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like triggery for people, especially like thin people.
I think it used to be for me.
Sorry.
No, it is. We had a whole
No.
conversation about it. I work a little bit in the fashion industry, and people a little bit don't like that word.
Well, because they've created, like, certainly smaller people have used it as a derogatory term.
Yeah,
on
for sure.
purpose. And so me calling myself fat is not me being down on myself. It's me stating my body type.
But has anyone ever said to you, like, "No, Shawna, you're not fat.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're beautiful."
Oh, yeah, like they're mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. That's
Yeah.
I'm both.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's okay. I
Thanks.
can be both.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm awesome. No. You know what I mean? But I don't mind the term. It also depends on tone of voice
Sure.
when it's used,
I
because if
mean-
it's a cuss word, then I'm like, okay, see, then I have a problem, not because of the word itself, but because of the intention behind it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like if you want to throw it at me like a ninja style.
Yeah.
That's
You're like
something
you're
different.
like, "Oh, yes, I'm also a redhead too."
I know. Oh, no.
Oh, redhead.
Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's your character name, right?
It is, and it actually was the character's name before I went into audition for it.
Look at
Oh,
that.
really? That's
Sea
hilarious.
Ginger.
Tell
Yeah.
us about that, because I love that how excited you are that what the breakdown was not size specific.
Oh, yeah, but it took me until episode 7 to figure that out, because, I'm used to in musical theater and a lot of TV still. If you're a big girl on TV, then your entire storyline has to be about weight, and if I'll only be happy if I lose it, or maybe I'll get the man if I'm smaller.
Yeah.
And it took me to literally episode 7 before I was like, hold up, Ginger's not said anything about her weight ever. She's into self-help books. She doesn't cuss. She uses alternate cuss words, which are really funny. But it's not the
Wait, like what? Like what kind of cuss word? What kind of cuss words does she use? I want to
son
start
of a
using
mother.
Son of a mother,
I actually added my mother's favorite non-cuss word,
which is
as a gift to her. They let me do it. Dag nabbit. Dag nabbit.
I had a guy on tour that used to say dag
Really?
nabbit, daggum and dag nabbit all the time.
Fracking.
Oh,
instead of-
my brother-in-law always says, "Son of a biscuits."
Yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one. That's a good one. So yeah, episode 7. So she doesn't use the self-help books as a way to become thinner. She's trying to fix something within herself that has nothing at all to do with weight. And so I went back, like you were mentioning, I went back to the breakdown to say, wait, this doesn't say anything about must be plus size or heavy set or overweight or whatever. None of that, any descriptors like that, either small or large, were in the descriptor, were in the breakdown. And I realized, they didn't want me out of all of the character women that happened to come and audition for this role, because I remember the other girls who were there. One was tall brunette, skinny. One was a short blonde, skinny. It didn't matter. They didn't want me just because I was the one they wanted out of the big girls. They wanted me because they wanted me, the actor. And it was the most like empowering and moving moment for me, I think, in a very long time. I've never felt more seen as a human, as a woman, and as an actor than I have since being on that set and being welcomed the way I was. You know what I mean? Even the very first fitting, the costume fitting, I go in and bring all the undergarments that you have to wear, you know, on musical theater. Let's, God forbid, you jiggle or move a little bit with your body, you know what I mean? So the Spanx and the undergarments, whatever. And I brought them in with me, and Jen, the head of the wardrobe, I was like, oh, so I have all of these. Do you want me to put them on? And she's like, those look really uncomfortable. How about we just tailor your clothes so you look great? And I was like,
you're like, I love you so much.
Did you hear me guess?
Can I worship you? Can I worship you right now?
I just guessed.
Yeah.
That's never
I mean, that's like,
never.
that's like a,
angel.
It's another level.
That's really amazing.
It's something I've never felt like acceptance-wise in the entertainment industry.
I love that. That seems really uncomfortable. Yeah, they are really uncomfortable.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, and she's like, let's just make you look great. We'll tailor it all to you and make you look great.
I love it. It's also it all comes from the head, right? Like, it's because that showrunner is impeccable.
Yeah,
it's because
Gingy.
I mean, the reason why Orange is the New Black was such a game changer for me, and I remember like having to have these conversations with guys and like explain it to them because they were like, really? And I was like, dude, you've never seen that many character women on anything ever. Like, no, I'm not just talking about a one size character person. I'm talking about all size characters.
And all of them are naked if they need to be. Like in the shower scenes, they don't hide. Like, only the skinny people get to take showers.
Right.
No. It's like they represent every kind of human in every age, not just younger.
Yeah.
And
it comes from the top.
Yeah,
it comes
really,
from the
really
top.
powerful.
And that's such a testament to that set.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad you're on it.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Can you so who's your crush? Who's your show crush?
My show crush.
You gotta have a show crush.
Everybody, you have to.
Yeah.
My show crush.
Who's your show husband?
He's totally gonna like see it. Brandon Wellington. He plays Theo Young. He's just like the sweetest man, but he's also like my kind of candy. So he's in a relationship, lady.
Dang it!
I know, he's in a relationship. But he was one of the first people I met, and then Nicholas Weber, who I play opposite a lot actually in the show. He's just the sweetest. He's married. Okay, Greg Vrostros. I mean, all the CO men are like so fantastic because we came in all at the same time. Most of us.
Okay, that's cool.
And so we're like, it's our gang. And
that's
we
fun.
stick up for like they've come to see me do shows, and we go and see each other when they do other things, and it's really just lovely. But yeah, CO Young.
That's okay. Well, let's
Brandon.
talk about other people who've hung on you.
Oh yeah,
other
I
candy.
think we have some other pictures of someone
it's
just
there's
hanging
a
on.
lot of pictures of you guys together on Instagram, social media.
Because you're like best friends with Sting.
Yeah,
She just hangs out with Sting guys.
Yeah.
She's just like besties with Sting.
Yeah, tell us.
She's learning, all kinds of tantra
Tantric
stuff.
thing.
I don't know. I mean, that's just like my fantasy. I don't know.
No, I'm not learning tantric. I'm not. Not from him.
So
Not from him.
she just let us know.
Okay.
She just let us know how it really ends. Please tell us about your last ship experience. I mean, sometimes there's periods of your life where like you're really on Facebook, and that definitely was a period where I was like on Facebook a lot, and I was following you like a crazy person because it was just like incredible. And please lead it to your photos too, because I want to talk about this.
Oh,
too.
okay.
Okay, great.
Well, the funniest thing, I'm gonna go back just a little bit before Last Ship, if you don't mind.
No, please.
So when I was in Les Mis and I'd done the show for 3 years, they got concerned because I have asthma, and we were playing Albuquerque, which is higher than Denver, is in a valley, had 4 wildfires at the same time, and I rented myself an oxygen tank because we were in the opposite side of the stage, up in the tower, had to go all the way underneath the basement, come up to the other side of the stage because that's where my entrances were. They were worried because they automatically blamed my weight for my asthma, which there's no correlation, or very rarely is there correlation, and it hasn't been because I've been asthmatic my entire life. But they were like, okay, we're going to need you to lose weight, which is...
What?
Yeah.
It's against the rules of the contract.
They asked me to. And
I would have been like, boop, 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 boop. Hi, Equity. What's up? I mean,
they asked me to because they're concerned for me.
Sure.
Oh, concerned.
They're concerned for me.
Yeah.
They're like,
That's so kind.
And what's interesting, they never ever gave me a number. They just wanted me to lose weight because, they were concerned for me. And I was like, okay, well, so I made them pay for everything. I made them pay for the trainer and the whatever. And I ended up losing 40 pounds and 40 inches in 7 weeks, which is not good.
No, that's not healthy at all.
It's not good. And I did it because the BroadWAY it was going to go to Broadway. They were taking our set. Les Mis was going to go to Broadway. And I was like, well, here it is. Here's the moment that I get to go to Broadway. And if I do this for them, because it certainly wasn't for me, because I was totally fine with who I was, you know. If I do this for them, then I'm obviously going to get it. I'm finally going to get my very first Broadway show. I've been in this role for 3 years. How could I not even have a shot at maybe covering it? And then after that whole process, and I did what they asked, they had to take in all the costumes that they had created for me. They all made them, like my $14,000 ball gown. They had to send away and take in when I was on vacation once. I do this all for them, and then they tell me after we auditioned that I'm not right for the show after doing it for them for 3 years, which is literally the same creative team, same director, same everybody. And I'm not right for the show was the reason they gave me. And so, you know, I'm devastated, and I find cupcakes again because we're friends now. No, I like cupcakes. It's fine. But I didn't abuse them. No. But
you fingered them a lot.
You know, I licked them maybe.
I mean, I like to finger cupcakes.
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag the cupcakes. The cupcakes are like hashtag me too.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Sorry.
No, it's so fine. But I had heard about Sting writing a musical, and I had a soul deep level knowledge when I was a kid that he and I were going to work together. Like, it wasn't I hope one day. No, it was like literally soul level deep that I was going to work with him one day.
I had that with Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block, and it came true.
See,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
It happens.
It's true.
And I thought it was going to have to be like a background singer, because how else do you work with Sting? And then I realized, his background singers like play 14 instruments that aren't related to each other, have perfect pitch, and are like theory gods. And I'm like, well, I'm going to let that dream go. But while I was on the road, I had heard about him doing this workshop of a musical he was doing. And so I don't get the Les Mis Broadway. It goes to Kayla Settle, who I love. She's fantastic. But she was the one who was doing the reading of The Last Ship. So she turned down Last Ship to take Madame Thénardier, which is who I was on the road, in Les Mis on Broadway. And so it opens up. I get the audition like while I'm in Florida. I fly that night. I have the pre-screen the next day, end up in the final call. And it was the most surreal experience because it felt like it happened overnight when of course it didn't. But, you're in the room with everybody, including Sting. You're all like,
what did you sing? What did you sing? What did you sing?
I actually sang I'm Gonna Be Strong by Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, yes.
But the accompanist played it twice as fast as it was supposed to.
It was up-tempo?
It was suddenly up-tempo. And I was like, this is not the room, you stop and go back. But
you're like, can we just slow that down just a sec?
Yeah,
just slow it down a tick.
I was like, oh, please, Sting, just think this is me being creative.
And
then there was a catchphrase. There was a catch breath in the song originally because it was already wordy. And then it was twice as fast. And so I still took the catch breath. And now I'm like a measure and a half behind. I'm like, okay, now just think I'm being jazzy or something. I'm just back there. That's it. I got through and everybody was fine. They're like, oh, great. Oh, wow. So I was like, oh, thank God. In my head, I'm going, oh, holy shit. What's going on?
You're like, I just sang in front of Sting.
Yeah, I couldn't look at him because I felt like I was going to be Medusa and like I would freeze and turn to stone. Or he was Medusa and I would turn to stone. But he was the nicest. So when I was leaving that room, I just hear him say, that was Shawna Hamic, right? And everybody in the room goes, yeah, that was Shawna Hamic, and the door closed. And I was like, if nothing else, Sting knows my name.
Yeah. Out loud.
And then I guess I had found out when we were out of town, because I booked the show at 11:06 a.m., by the way, on a Monday. And I'll tell you why that's important in a second. We were out of town, and we were having a party. You know, we had done the previews. And
wait, who's we?
Last Ship. So the Last Ship. After I booked Last Ship.
Oh, okay.
The cast and the producer.
The Broadway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Sting was there every single day, by the way. He was there every single day of rehearsal. He was there every single day of our 10 out of 12s in tech. He missed one day to do George Lucas's 70th birthday. But other than that, he literally came back. And he was there all the time. So while we were in previews, one of the company managers said to me, he's like, by the way, I wanted to let you know, about 5 minutes after you left, you were one of the first people that they were unanimous about and that they cast you immediately almost. And I found out later that Sting went home and started writing the song that ended up being the song he wrote for me to be added to the show. So it was really close after that. So, and it lasted the entire time.
That's
I was
great.
in the show.
Did he do his weird clapping in front of you?
Oh God, yes. That I recorded it because it was so.
It's so weird. It's so weird. It's like weird. Yeah. It's like
because he's used to having to
be over the band.
Yeah. And so it's just this freakishly loud clap. But he's a fantastic man. He's actually pretty shy and quiet.
Why was the time important?
Oh, because the time I booked Orange is the New Black was 11:06 a.m. on a Monday. Exactly the same amount. Exactly the same
that's
time.
your magic number.
It is. It seems to be the two biggest things I ever got.
It's a magic number. Now tell everybody.
So far.
Yeah. Tell everybody about your photographs, because you took unbelievable photographs.
Yeah, you're a
of that
photographer.
show.
Oh yeah, I've been published in Rolling Stone and Time magazine.
Oh, just those little things.
And Elle and a couple of other things. Mostly because of Last Ship. I thought it was silly that nobody was documenting the process of a rock icon writing a musical. And so I got permission to do it, and then I started showing them to the director, Joe Mantello, and then he started showing them to the producer. And so they ended up going, can we see more of them, please? And so, they ended up using my photos to, like, put in ads for the show, and I love them so much. That's why there's so many pictures of Sting, frankly. I was already obsessed with him. But
you're like, let me just take another picture. Let's take another picture.
Yeah, but the ones that we took together are really sweet, because I ended up, I understudied the role because he eventually came into the show himself to help us run a little bit longer. And I ended up being on stage as his wife. And what's lovely, he's very touchy-feely, so he's like, he'll just sit there and like rub your back, and you're like, stay in character.
You're like, focus.
I would have lost my shit.
I know. I was kind of like giggly, but I had to keep it because his hand was on my back, because I was like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I would like lose my mind. You know, we have a friend who was on their show, Jocelyn Ayana, and she was just recently on Ballers, and she was in a scene with The Rock. And when I watched it, I had to call her right away, and I was like, "Tell me everything about The Rock. Tell me everything.
I need to learn everything about him.
I need to know everything."
He's so fantastic.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so glad. I didn't know she did that.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna hit up some hot topics. All right.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Plus this. This.
Promotional consideration brought to you by Melissa Massey. Custom clothing isn't exclusively for the rich and famous. Melissa Massey is custom-made clothing for everyday wear. A unique combination of custom tailoring and deluxe fabrics that is well made and fit for every size and frame. Made in LA, sold in LA, and online at melissamassey.com. It's not the natural beauty products in your life, but the life in your natural beauty products. Linda Kammen's Aromatherapy Salon. LindaKammens.com for happier, healthier living. Promotional consideration provided by Scrubs Body, a woman-owned business with scrubs so natural they're good for your public parts and your private parts. ScrubsBody.com.
This. We're back with Shawna Hamic from Orange is the New Black and from the BroadWAY.
BroadWAY.
I want to talk to you about BroadWAY. It's because I've been back and forth in New York a bunch. It's been like really pressing on my spirit. Where have the big girls gone?
Yeah.
And obviously Bonnie Milligan is having this huge,
She's killing it.
like amazing chutzpah. No, what is it called? Oh, you did a mitzvah, whatever. I'm trying to be Jewish. I'm trying to get in touch with my Jewish side, guys.
Right,
I don't know if it's working.
Cool.
I'm like, I don't know any of those words.
But she's doing this part of a princess, and again, just like you, not in Orange is the New Black, in Head Over Heels on Broadway, there's no mention of her size. She loves herself. She thinks she's the bomb. She thinks everyone should be dating her. She also happens to be like, I don't know if it's polyamorous, like she like just loves people, I think. So it's like representing on so many different levels. And I cannot tell you, and I'm sure you've had this happen too, how many people have text messaged me and been like, do you know about this part? This part's amazing. She reminds me of you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, there's a lot of big girls who sing. There's a lot of us. And I've known Bonnie for so long, and she's really been crushing it. And that's great. We have a person. So what is your feeling?
A person.
I mean, how has it been being in New York and auditioning for musicals?
I haven't had an audition for musicals in a really long time.
Wow.
One, because I got locked down with Orange is the New Black, which is not a bad problem to have.
Yeah.
Champagne problem. But there haven't been very many. I was literally trying to think because I read the articles and stuff about her, which is fantastic, and I'm so happy for her. Trying to think in my head, like, what other shows are there even big girls in? And I think the only thing I could come up with was SpongeBob, and that closed not because of anything the show did.
Yeah.
It was so fantastic, but because the theater is literally going out from underneath them. But
yeah, but it's also Chris Catelli who directed that show, right? Or he choreographed it for sure.
Tina Landau.
Oh, Tina Landau.
She directed SpongeBob.
but Chris choreographed it, no?
I think so.
Yeah, I just know that Chris Catelli as a choreographer director always has variety of bodies.
Yeah,
like he's not somebody who like cares about line or whatever. I did air quotes for those of you couldn't. I rolled my eyes for those of you who are not.
You guys, if you're not watching and listening, a real deep eye roll happened.
Yes,
real.
Because it's very interesting that for women, the women need to have a certain line, but then the men don't. For certain choreographer directors.
Far more character men roles where men can be bigger than there are ever for women, and I feel like I don't know where they've gone, like the character roles.
Yeah,
like they're in regional theater currently, like where everybody's doing, Little Mermaid, but now they're giving Ursula to men to play in drag, and that.
It's interesting.
While I'm like, okay, I think that's an amazing idea, but can we keep a couple of the roles?
Yeah,
Can we please?
Yeah,
help? Or then let us play a role in drag.
Yeah,
a male role in drag.
Great.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that, I see a show, I've been harping on it a lot, and I really, it's like a dream of mine to go back to New York and have a panel of people and to talk about it, including Tina Fey, about Mean Girls, because it's a show about bullying.
Yeah.
And even the lead guy who in the movie was a plus-size actor, clearly, he is now a fat activist. Like, that guy is a really, really talented actor, but he gained like 20 pounds and like has like a pillow or something in his pants or something.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Like he's not a fat guy. Like he's like just a little out of shape. You know what I'm saying? It's like we were talking about. It's like curve model is not a plus size, not a fat person. So and there's not a one child in a contemporary high school that is not a plus size woman, and for women especially, and men too. But if we're 67% of the population, it's not right. It's actually irresponsible not to represent that in a show about bullying, where plus size, like fat kids and gay kids are the most bullied, and actually fat kids for their bodies even more than the numbers show. So it's just infuriating me that this Hollywood aesthetic has sort of like creeped in. And
into the BroadWAY sphere.
I want to have a conversation. I mean, I know the last time I was there, I was like, I have like a secret group, guys. Sorry about it. And I like put a message in like, I want to have a big girl conference with all the people in New York. Do you think we could do that?
Sure.
When I go there next, I'm going to be there soon.
Was she cute enough in her way of asking you?
Oh my God, do you think that we could do that? Could you help gather the chubs for me? I just want to.
I don't think I can gather anybody for you, but I mean, I could be there.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Put out the chub signal. Yeah. What did the chub signal
Is it like a bat
like?
signal?
It would look like one of these paintings behind. Just projected. Like a bat signal, but like the fat girl. It's not Batman. Fat girl. That's what it would be.
Projected onto the side of the Empire State Building.
There you go.
Speaking of curve models or not, there's been this thing in fashion, and it's slowly like pulling teeth getting out of it, but still, Fashion Week just happened. The next one's coming up soon. Like, these designers like to put a plus size model in their show and take plus size, again, not really plus size, curve models. Like, everyone wants Ashley Graham. Vera Wang wants Ashley Graham as her +1 to an event, and she'll dress her. Yeah. But that is not available to the world.
Anybody else.
Yeah. So this article, which I also am really excited that all of these publications that are not geared towards big women, like In Style, Vogue did an unbelievable spread of plus size fashion. And so Glamour has Kelly Brown, it's me, Kelly B, on Instagram, did a hashtag fat at Fashion Week, and she's amazing, and they did a whole article with her. She's a goddess, and please come on our show. Thanks. But the quote said, which I found fascinating, out of 84 fashion lines that showed at New York Fashion Week, on 12 of them, only 12 of them have sizes up to a 16. So we're talking to like a 16, which isn't even that.
Wait, so
plus size.
out of 84 lines, only 12 of them went up to a size 16.
Yes. Yes.
And that's not even like a true size 16. That's like a fashion size 16, which is probably like a 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And for a tall 12.
Yeah.
And this other,
it's like a tall 16, which is a 12. Yeah.
and a representative from Chromat was talking. It said it wasn't until this year when Nordstrom placed a wholesale order that went up to 3X that the brand could afford to make plus sizes in any meaningful quantity. Chromat has been doing plus size for years, she said, but it was always custom, done in-house. It wasn't until we could produce 100 of the same thing that factories were willing to go into production with us. So it's on both ends. It's like, it's not just the Nordstroms. It's like the people in factories are like, no way, Jose, we're not putting in an order that's less than 100 pieces. So I Eva was saying it earlier, she does a lot of fit modeling and was talking about how the people who are new to designing for plus, she's like, you gotta let people know.
Yeah.
You can't like be hiding about it. So
I tell them that all the time. Like every brand I ever go to, I'm like, so what's your marketing strategy? Like, how are you going to tell fat girls that you have clothes for them?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to let them know? Because if you don't let people know, then people won't buy it, and then it fails.
Yeah, then it fails.
And then you're like, oh, see, plus doesn't sell. Well, no, plus does sell if you let them know.
Yeah.
And specifically, one of the brands I work with is like a real slender brand, and they're coming out with plus, which is great. But I was like, you're going to have to put fat girls on your Instagram.
Yeah.
If you want to sell this, you have to put fat girls on your Instagram, and it's going to change the aesthetic of your Instagram.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to sell it.
Sell anything.
It's not going to sell because people won't know. And you're going to have to market towards the fat viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like fat activists especially don't want to support you if they are not seen.
Yeah.
They even have a problem with traditionally plus size lines like Lane Bryant and Torrid
Yeah.
doing too many curve models and not like
I mean, they
actual-
really
Yeah.
are doing curve model, like so much so, like even Torrid now so much using curve models that I'm like, not even curve. Like I'm like, this is just like a.
She's absolutely
Yeah.
pinned behind
Yeah.
her back for stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is not even curve.
I was just wondering, like, how do you feel about that? You're gonna be like somebody who people are gonna like find to dress.
Yeah.
And
That'd be awesome.
Do you feel like it's something that would make you stop and say, no, I kind of need someone who provides for my size? Like, I look at Kiala for the
Yeah.
Oscars and everything. Like, had
Christian
all these,
Siriano.
yeah, like.
I was like, oh, so that's who I have to go to? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
is that the
and
one
he's
guy?
fantastic.
No,
Yeah.
he's amazing, of course.
Yeah.
But like, I would like more options. I feel like, oh, am I gonna have to start sewing again? Like, create my own things? But
I mean, you do all the things. Why not so?
I mean, right? Yeah, I took my own photos on the red carpet, and I made this dress from hand.
And I braided my hair into this intricate.
And I also
weaving
made
pattern.
this amazing chocolate souffle to provide on the red carpet for you.
for sustenance, you're welcome.
It's amazing.
I mean, I've started to contemplate. Not that I've been asked to, premieres or anything yet. I hope to one day maybe get there.
Not even the Orange is the New Black premiere.
Well, we had a premiere, but it wasn't for press.
Just for your private.
Just for our.
Oh.
But
they
if
rented out a
that
theater.
goes, but if that you guys go to an award season,
Yeah.
that season you would go.
I'm actually not officially, because of my billing, not considered part of the ensemble, even though it was in every episode.
But you might.
But maybe I
they
could
might-
go.
You
Yeah.
might go though. Like
Yeah,
you still
so-
might go.
But now, oh gosh, what was it? Is it Torrid that is now starting to do custom work? Or there's a line that's I'm a fan of that does custom work now. So it's a brand that's established that.
Tell us and we'll post about it.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
think of it. I mean, I'm going to sit here and be blank. Like, I don't
She's
know.
like, what is it? What is it? What is it?
What is it? We take up the whole hour. No.
Yeah.
Because we told you about Melissa Massey that you definitely have to go.
Oh,
see.
no, you
which
have
is
to go,
great.
Melissa
Yeah.
Massey. She's,
that'd be fantastic.
she's the best ever in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
I would
for
love
sure.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she builds your clothes, and you're gonna go to the Plus Bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get some fabulous things. You won't even have to worry about going to the red carpet because you'll already you already have stuff. There's
Yeah.
this one last topic I wanted to tackle before you lickety split on us, and it is about this Ivy League food scientist who basically got fired or like his funding or whoever his group was got kicked out because of like faulty data. And you know, it's
got kicked out of Cornell
University.
Well, yes, he's a Cornell professor, but like he got but like his like all of his science got canceled too. Like listen to me,
canceled.
I'm really
his science got
canceled.
canceled.
I'm really sciencey, guys.
the articles were retracted by the
Thank you.
The journals.
Retracted.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes,
They were canceled.
I'm really
Cancel.
I'm really smart until I'm not. And basically, I just want to talk about it a little bit because this is a dude who said, there were 6 of his papers that were retracted by the American Medical Association's JAMA network. I don't know what that is. Please forgive me. He said some stupid diet stuff like how serving bowl size affected food consumption, how fasting changed people's food preferences, and how action-packed television programs increased food intake. So like all of these which, by the way, I have heard about all of these things.
I literally use a small salad plate to make a dinner plate, but I just pile it.
but probably because this was on the fucking, excuse my French, local news.
Oh, yeah, everywhere.
Local news.
There you go.
Yeah.
As Ginger would say.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this is a guy that we're not really going to talk about in the news, right? There's too much other stuff in the news. But like he's not like a Dr. Oz where when Dr. Oz was shamed for all the horrible false products he was doing, the government got to him and blah, blah, blah. And this guy obviously has had a huge impact on the diet culture, and he's sort of like a slipping away in the night, and there was just this one little Washington Post blurb that happens. I just find it
because that's $1 billion industry. People aren't gonna shine a light on that. They're not gonna shine a light on a multi-billion-dollar industry. What is it, 4 billion?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna slowly carve out my world to if somebody's like, I just want a small plate because that way I'll eat less. I'm gonna be like, that was proven wrong. That guy was totally arrested or whatever. Make up stuff.
You can just make up stuff. We're making stuff up about you, sir.
Since you're making stuff about food up. But yeah, it's just frustrating. I've been reading a lot. I've been reading Linda Bacon's book, Body Respect, right now. Ooh, honey, it's like a lot of information. And it's like that thing where your rage builds, right? Because you're just like realizing the amount of lies you have bought into. Yeah. And this is such a proponent of that. It's so like...
Well, like we were talking about that, like how just like an expert will be like, you know what? Soy is so great for you. And then everyone has that soundbite like soy. And then it's like, oh, well, actually soy is too, if you have too much soy, it's actually not good for you. And then then don't do soy. And then it's like gluten-free. Coconut
oil is the way to go.
Coconut oil.
Yeah.
It's like, it's terrible. It's like everything, every single thing.
Yeah.
Like, can we just do stuff in moderation? Like, do we have to, I don't know. I just hate that it's everybody. It's like just one expert could just say like, oh, don't.
And create a culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And create like a whole leg, another antennae of diet. No, that's not what I meant. Guys, I can't think of words. What's an octopus? Tentacle. Just like a whole... I'm doing all kinds of dance moves.
If you're not watching,
the tentacle.
Kathy is doing some real arm dance moves, right? Dance moves at the moment.
Guys, this is so rando. Did you see the seal throw
the octopus at the kayaker?
That was hilarious.
Yes, I was like, oh. First of all, I would have probably died laughing. Also, I would have been mortified. Also, I would have wanted it to stay on my boat so I could eat it because I love octopus.
Ugh, that makes me want to
not raw, but
not raw, not raw, like grilled, delicious grilled Greek octopus.
I just thought it was the most hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that's like what? Why? What was it?
Seals are my favorite.
Seals are the cats of the ocean. They're like jerks.
Yeah, they are. Oh, did you see that one video where it grabbed a kid and like pulled it into the ocean? Yeah. Oh my god, I would have died if that was like MJ. I would have like freaked out.
I kind of love them. Are you singing in New York at all? Do you have any gigs coming up?
Not right now. Just busy working on other things.
On other things that you cannot talk about.
But you can. But she's on the Netflix right now.
Yeah,
Netflix
and you can go.
So
see her
watch her on the
want.
Netflix.
Where can people follow you?
Oh, I was gonna say follow me on Instagram at Shawna Hamic. SHAWNAHAMIC.
Wait, can you say that slower?
SHAWNAHAM as in Mary, IC as in cat.
There you go.
That's my Instagram and my Twitter. And then you can find
your photography. Can you tell
my
us your
photography, ShawnaHamicCreative.com.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Or ShawnaHamic.com is my acting website.
She does all of the things. So she's just creative.
She's just creative because we don't want to limit her
Exactly.
to what she's going to be creative.
She's going to make you a hat. She's going to be a milliner, and she's going to make you hats.
There you go.
And she's going to...
And shoes.
Have shoes. She's going to be a cobbler.
Yeah. Cobbler.
That's hilarious.
Well, enjoy your time in Cali. I love that you're here. Ever since I saw you at the Nymph, which is the New York Musical Theater Festival, doing the Screams of Kitty Genovese, which is
a million years
ago.
That makes me laugh.
You were so good in it. It's such a dark show.
It was so dark.
But it was fantastic.
So dark.
It was about let's end with this. This will be
no,
great.
that's so
no, we're not ending on the bad note. We're not ending on
It's not a bad note,
but
but it is kind of important. She was a woman who was attacked outside of a very large apartment building in Queens back in the 50s, in the early 50s,
or 60s,
yeah. And that nobody called the police
because everybody thought
everyone else did. So
it's now
that's
called
why
the Genovese complex.
Yeah, and so they decided to make 911.
Did they do that on Girls? Do you happen to remember? Did you watch Girls? Did they remake? Did they do that kind of thing? Okay,
I don't know.
I think they did.
I didn't watch it either. I know, it was sad, but that's why we have 911 now, because you can be anonymous and do it. And so it was this incredibly. I know someone who wants to produce this musical, by the way. So if he is serious about it, I will totally be like, you need to get Shawna back to do this musical.
Now that I'm more age appropriate, so it's been like 10 years.
Right, as always. But you were glorious then. I've been following you and obsessed with you. So everyone else can be now too. Just listen to us, okay?
Yay!
Yes. We'll be back next week. Follow us at Plus the Show everywhere.
At all the places.
Like, subscribe and share.
Thank you.
And we'll be back next week with Plus This. Thanks, guys.